First of all, can you just give your thoughts on the way the guys fought today? We all know the weather wasn't the best conditions, but the way you guys hung in there, and also uh, the goals by Chicharito, how much of a confidence boost that is for him to get the goals, and also you guys pulling out the win.
Yeah, I mean, first in terms of the effort, I'm really proud of the guys. You know, I thought the first half everything was just too slow. The ball was moving too slow. We weren't creating enough danger and asking them really enough questions just because everything was just too slow for them to deal with. So at halftime, we talked about having the game having to find another speed, and I know it's a little bit when it's hot and you have 90 minutes in front of you, and guys might be trying to manage a little bit. It's the first game, you're not quite sure what that's going to feel like for 90 minutes, but I felt like everything was just a little too methodical. In the second half, I challenged them to push the tempo, and I thought for the first few minutes there was a couple chances, but really things changed when we went to a second forward. And we did that for a number of reasons, but it also pulled the game forward a little bit faster. Obviously, Zubac's running and his ability to just threaten the depth and run off of the shoulders of center backs who are pretty aggressive, kind of pulled the game forward a little bit more, and that helped things to kind of pick up. But just the fight, to fight back from what was, I thought, a tough call on the offsides, and the guys just kept fighting, and then to answer back on the second one and then just keep going. So I was proud of them. That's what culture is made of. When you start to get moments like that, guys start to really to push forward, and this is a group that is eager and they want to be great. And to be great, you have to be courageous and you have to go for it. And I thought we did that in the second half.
And also just the goals by Chicharito. I mean, what do you when the guy scores goals, that boosts his confidence? But for him, how important are these two goals here as you guys start and go forward?
Yeah, I think all of us, believe in him and know that he's going to score goals. I think for him, he just puts so much pressure on himself. He's had such a challenge, and a lot of people saying a lot of things about him and what his quality was and his ability to score goals for, the better part of a year now that I can't even probably describe the emotion that he's going through at the moment to have a game like that and to score two important goals. For us, it's to keep going. I thought it helped again to have a guy like Ethan next to him tonight to be able to move the center backs to give him a little bit more open space in front of the goal, of which he was able to step in front of the center back and make it a beautiful first touch to set himself up for the finish. And then he's a clever runner, and today, just with the way things were going, again, I thought Ethan helped to open up the front of the goal and open up some space for him to be able to do his work. And so I couldn't be happier for him. The guy worked so hard every single day. He worked all off season, and for him to kind of take the monkey or gorilla off his back a little bit and to move forward in this first game and get a couple goals, I couldn't be happier for him.
Hey, Sammy, we'll go next to Josh Guessman with Corner of the Galaxy. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, congratulations on the win. With Zubac specifically, whenever we saw him in preseason, it looked like maybe he was playing a more wide role than maybe what we saw him in today. Am I not seeing things correctly, or is this sort of a little bit of a new role for Zubac that you pushed him in?
It was. I played him as a striker. The thing about Ethan is not so much about his positional play, it's more about his willingness to run. And whether it's from a wide position or it's from a central position, he gives us that consistent willingness to run behind, to stretch the opposition. If you have center backs or fullbacks who are trying to be aggressive into the space in front of him, he constantly put those guys in difficult situations. And I felt like that was it today. They were really releasing their center backs to deal with our players who are kind of in those half spaces. And so we decided to put a second forward that would really not allow them to do that. And they had a hard time. And again, just his willingness to run behind, it changes the game. And so we have used him wide, we have used him up top, but really it's the characteristics of the player that we needed up top today.
And can you also talk a little bit about the defense? It seemed to get maybe a little unlucky, as you said, on the offside call there at the end of the first half. But for the most part, seemed to stand pretty stout for the game. Are you pretty happy with where they were at?
For the most part. I mean, I think defending is a collective thing. So, but I thought for the most part they did great. I thought Nick made some great plays in and around the box to block some balls, to make some tackles, to end some attacks that looked promising. So by and large, yes, it was good. Again, between heat and lack of concentration, some of our marking behind our attacks was terrible on the day, and it was too easy for them to get out of in transition, which puts the back line under pressure. But they managed situations pretty well. I mean, it was a goal that was offside or potentially offside, and a penalty kick which that we gave up. But they battled and they fought on a difficult day against some good attackers, and we came out with the win, which is what matters. And we work every day to try to get better, and we'll use this game as a measuring stick and some things that we'll learn from it as well. But I was pleased with them.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Josh, we'll go next to a question from Andy Diosa with Yahoo Sports. Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Rick, how's it going?
Great, thanks.
Greg, just pulling back the layers a little bit on the win. Obviously, you'll find tactically things that you were happy with, things that you weren't happy with. But just overall, what was your message to the team after that battle, getting there and having Chicharito have that big moment here? What do you tell them after? Because I see a lot of happy faces, obviously, deservedly so, on the field after that.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, I told them to remember this feeling and everything that they laid on the field today to get to it. And if they want to be great, or if all of us want to be great as a team and as players, then we have to be courageous and we have to go for it, and we have to lay it all out from minute one to the last minute of the game. And more of these types of days will happen for us. And so I think the first one is always tough to get, especially on the road in Miami at 3:00 in the afternoon. So to remember the sacrifice and the suffering that many of them went through over the course of the day to ultimately come out with a victory. It doesn't matter how much you suffer at the end. If you win, it all feels okay. And so it's an emotion I want them to remember, and everything that they laid out there, because it's going to get better tactically. It's going to get better technically. We're going to improve as a team. So, but the effort has to be there, like it was for sure in the second half in this game.
Thanks, Andy. We'll go next to Sophie Nicolau. Sophie, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You've stepped into a very high-pressure job. Each of the major sports in the United States has a team that comes with a lot of pressure when you're the coach, and LA Galaxy, a 5-star team, and knowing what it means to be part of the LA Galaxy organization. You've come into a real pressure cooker in a sense, because there are so many high expectations. Self-satisfying today. Can you talk me through that a little bit for your first win, in your first outing against the shiny new toy in Major League Soccer?
Yeah, it was a bit emotional for me at the end of the game, just being back at the Galaxy and to get the first win and in an organization that means so much to me over the years and my career and everything else. So for that, I was, I had a little bit of emotions after, to be fair. The first one is a tough one. It's always a special one. So we'll take that. As far as the pressure and all that, for me, it's soccer, it's football. The game is the game, and we're trying to do the right things as we play and read the game and make good decisions and prepare these guys. And if we do things the right way and we don't cut any corners and the players show up and I do my job and everybody does their job, then the success and all that kind of takes care of itself. We can't, I don't look at pressure as more than what I put on myself every single day to make sure every single training session is purposeful, that every player gets what they need from us. And I can't control whether we lift trophies or not in the grand scheme of things today. I just have to control what I can control in the moment, and I stay focused on that, and I try to keep the players focused on that. And like I said, if we put this kind of effort out, we're going to continue to get better as a group, and more victories will come. And if we're courageous and we're brave and we go out to do what we do every single day with the right mentality and the right attitude, why can't we win championships? That's the statement. There's no reason why we can't be there in the end. So that's the approach.
Thanks, Coach. And great sub, the Zubac sub. Let's be honest, that was a pretty cool move. Nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sophie. We'll go next to Scott French. Scott, go ahead.
Hi, Greg. Congratulations on a great last half hour and the victory. I'm just wondering, in the first half, along with the problems that you're having defensively, you guys found very little space and didn't seem to have the kind of movement that you'd want when you had the ball. You were able to keep the ball, but not make a lot from it. I'm wondering what the greatest difficulties were there, and then maybe as part of that, but also looking more broadly, after seeing this team for the first time in action that counts, did you learn anything?
So, to answer the first question, a lot of the first half, and I would say good chunks of the first 60 minutes they were possession based, but they weren't attacks, and there's a difference between passes that break lines, runs that break lines, runs that try to get in behind the back line. Those are attacks, but we had too many times where balls are just being played from one guy's feet to the next guy's feet to the next guy's feet. One guy's taking 2 touches, the next guy 3 touches. It's all too slow and methodical, and it's too easy to defend. And that was a big chunk of the first part of the game, especially. That's why a guy coming into the game like Ethan, who will run behind the lines, who will run through the channels, who will ask different questions of the back line, make them make decisions, started to open up space for us that we could start to utilize in the attack, or we could either play him behind and things could start to create. So look, I didn't learn anything new about our group. I do think that is the challenge that we need to continue to work on, is that we can't all have the ball at our feet. We have to be working to run and receive the ball on the run, receive the ball behind lines, and we need more commitment and understanding of why that's so important from the group that we have and the players that we continue to add. But we have to have that balance in our team. Otherwise, our possessions they're actually counterproductive. The more possession we have, the more we actually put ourselves in danger of a counterattack or a transition if we don't turn those possessions into real attacks and finish them deep. So I felt like that was a bit of what was going on today. And there could be many reasons for it, all of which we'll talk about and address, but we have to find that balance between possession and staying in an attacking mindset to try to create opportunities and, like I said, try to get behind lines.